Hey everyone, welcome to my new tutorial. Today we are going to create this stylized tree and I really hope you will enjoy this one. And if you do, please don't forget to leave the like and that subscribe. And if you just started Blender, also check out my free starter course. You just go to my website, the link will be in the description. It's 100% free, you just sign up. It takes 1 to 2 hours to complete and it will make it so much easier to follow all of my other tutorials. Now let's jump into Blender, and first of all we'll need some tree trunk, even though this tutorial is mostly about the leaves and how to make them look stylized. So with the default cube selected, let's just tab into the edit mode, press M and merge everything at center. This will create a single vertex in the middle here, and now we can press 1 on a numpad for a front view and start extruding our tree. Make sure your mode here is in the vertex select, and let's press E and extrude it, and let's do few more extrusions like this. Again, this will be very stylized, so we're not doing like full branches. So let's select this one here, press Shift D to duplicate and just move it slightly and extrude it to the other side like this. Now we can rotate our viewport and shift them around a little bit so it's not so planar. So let's press G and move it to the side here, and same here, and maybe we can move some of these endpoints as well, but I think this will do for now. So let's tab out and let's right click and convert this to curve, because that will make it really easy to create like a pipe structure that we need for the tree. So let's go to the object data properties here, and in the geometry section for the curve, let's increase the depth and it will create something like this. Don't worry about the thickness right now, and let's reduce the resolution to something like 2. And now tap back into the edit mode. Now you can see this looks a little bit different because these are no longer vertices, these are control points of the curve. And we can just select the endpoints here, hold Shift, select the other one, and press O to enable proportional editing, or you can just click here. And now we can press Alt S to reduce the radius for the curve there. And if you increase the fall off with the mouse wheel, you can see the circle getting bigger. It will influence larger and larger area, and that's exactly what we want, to make this kind of follow this thickness, just like that. And finally we can select the bottom one, press E then Z to extrude it down a little bit, and now turn off the proportional editing by pressing O or click here, and press Alt S again and make it wider, so it kind of goes wider at the bottom. So now we can tab out and let's create our tree. So let's press Shift A, and you can do whatever object you want for this, but I will use the icosphere here and just move it up here. So press G and move it up. Maybe we can make it a little bit larger, and then press Alt D and duplicate it right here and make it smaller. So this will be like our very stylized cartoony tree here. And just to make it a little bit more interesting, we can press Alt D again and push this up a little bit and make it smaller. Okay, I really like this. And to make it a little bit more simple, we can hold Shift, select all of the others, and press Ctrl J to join them. Now we'll be using geometry nodes to create our leaves, but before we do, we actually need an object for the leaf. So let's press Shift A and create a plane, press G, then Y, and move it towards the front here. Tab into the edit mode, and now let's look from the top by pressing 7 on a numpad, and let's press S then X and make it smaller like this. And now I'll press Ctrl R and create 2 cuts, so I'm using the mouse wheel to increase number of cuts. Left click to confirm and right click to release it in place, and now select these 2 vertices and press S to scale them towards each other, just like this. And let's do the same thing here in the back. And now we can select these 4, press G, then Z, and move them up slightly, so we have this bend here. Now let's select everything here, press G then Y, and move it here so the origin point is in the back of the leaf. And now we can press Ctrl R, create 1 loop cut here in the middle, right click to release, and we can select these 2 and press G twice to start sliding them and slide them back a little bit, so we make this a little bit rounded. And let's do the same thing here at the bottom, and basically that's everything we need here. We can now tab out, right click and shade smooth. You will see it will get rid of that, low poly look, but the jagged edges on the side will stay. And now let's just rename it here to leaf in the outliner. And we can press S and make it smaller a little bit like this, and press Ctrl A and apply the scale. And let's apply the scale on this as well. So press Ctrl A and apply it. Now let's bring up the timeline a little bit here, and let's switch it to geometry node editor. just like that. And we'll need the shader editor as well, but we can then expand another window here. And let's create a new node setup. If you go to the modifiers, you can see there is no modifier here. If you create a new node setup, you will see it will get added as a geometry nodes modifier. And now basically we just want to scatter these leaves inside of these spheres. So we'll need to convert this to volume first. So let's press Shift A here and search for volume, and you will see the mesh to volume. So let's just drop it right here, and you will see this will become volumetric, but this is not the end state we are interested in. We want to distribute points there so we can instance our leaf. So let's press Shift A and let's do distribute points in volume like this. And now this is more like it. This is the point cloud we are interested in, and we can just increase the density here just like this. And now we'll instance the leaves on those points. So let's press Shift A and search for instance and instance on points, and let's just drop it here. But first we'll need to actually reference our leaf object, so you can just click and drag it right here, and it will create the object info with the leaf already plugged in here. And we can now drop this here into the instance, and you have the leaves. But of course we'll need to play with the rotation and the scale, which is really easy. So we can press Shift A and search for random. And you can see in the utilities we have random rotation, which makes it really easy because you can just plug this right here and you now have random rotated leaves. And you can of course play with some properties here, but I really want to leave it like this. And now let's press Shift A and search for random again, but this time I'm interested in random value, and let's just plug it into the scale here. And you can play with the minimum and the maximum here to make this look like you want. And of course now you can further play with the density if you wish. If you want to learn Blender as fast as possible, also check out my other courses where in addition to the step-by-step instructions, you also get full in-depth explanation of all the tools and all the steps, and you get to learn everything from simple low poly design all the way to full character illustration, textured environments, and with the latest one, full car modeling and animation. So if you're interested, please check out the link in the description. So this is the basic way how you can distribute the leaves inside of a volume. And now let's give it some material, but you can just, you know, click this and add the material. Let's do that right here, and let's call this leaf. And I will change the color, for example, to like bright green, like this. Maybe make it a little bit more subtle, something like that, and switch to the material preview. And you can see nothing happens because the instances don't have that assigned. So let's press Shift A and let's search for material and set material and plug it right here. And now we can pick this from the list, and now the leaves will get the material. But it looks a little bit jagged because each of the leaves is shaded individually. So we'll do some normals magic right here in the geometry nodes. So let's first read the normals value from our spheres, because we want this to be shaded like those spheres, and that will, you know, create that painterly effect. So let's press Shift A and let's search for normal, geometry read normal, and we'll need to sample the attribute from the spheres. So let's press Shift A and search for sample, and sample nearest surface, and let's just drop it right here and plug our mesh and our normal. So we're reading the normal value from our mesh, and now we have this value, and we need to store it on our instances right now because we created all of these instances. So let's press Shift A and let's search for store named attribute, and let's just plug it right here. And now we'll plug this value all the way right here. So we read it from our sphere geometry, and now we're gonna write it to our instances. But to do that, the normals are of a vector type, and we want to store this on our instances and call these normals. And also make sure to switch the sample nearest surface from float to vector so these values match. So we now have this attribute and we can read it in our material. So let's expand this window here. We can press N to hide the side panel here as well. And let's switch this to shader editor. This is our material, and let's press Shift A and search for attribute. And now pick input attribute and select instancer, because if you remember, we saved this on the instances, and let's search for normals. And now if you plug this directly here into the surface, you will see we have our normal information from my sphere, and we have it saved as a vector as well. So now if we plug our shader back in and plug the vector to our normals, you will see how this changes. And this is exactly what we want here. Now, I don't need the principled BSDF here. I think the diffuse shader will be enough. So let's press Shift A, search for diffuse, plug it right here, and we can select this one, press X to delete it, and plug this into the surface. And let's increase roughness all the way to 1. And now for our Eevee setup, we can use shader to RGB. So let's press Shift A, search for shader, shader to RGB, and we'll basically just convert this to color output so we can further modify this. So let's press Shift A, let's do map range, you will see why just in a second. And finally, let's press Shift A and do a color ramp. Just like that. And here we're gonna plug our colors. So let's create a few more steps here, and instead of linear, let's use constant, and let's click here and distribute stops evenly. And the darkest one will be, you know, something like a dark green, almost blue. It's always good to do like a hue shift when you're changing the value of your color. So something like this for the second color, and the third color can be, you know, really bright, almost yellow, for example. And now you can try to kind of match the distribution here. By the way, if you go here and enable scene lights and scene world, it will start to react to your light position and power. So we can make our light larger and see how this works. And now let's use the map range, because if you now start moving this, you can really shift the gradient without, you know, moving this wildly around. And of course we have this white here, so we can change this to something, you know, really bright like this. And there's your stylized, you know, tree material. Now we can select this, shade it smooth, and we can add a similar material here, but we can duplicate it, call this tree, and, you know, change the colors to something, you know, really dark and brown like this. And you can see the distribution will be a little bit different here. And of course we are not using this normal information here. So basically you get something like this, and you can now play with the distribution and compress it even if you want. You can get a really nice painterly result from something like this. And then of course background color will affect this as well, so make sure you set up your scene, and when you do, make sure to play, you know, with the range here. So that's it for today's tutorial. I really hope you enjoyed this one, and if you did, please again leave that like, and if you want to learn more like this, hit that subscribe. Thank you all for watching, and have a wonderful day.